welcome to Rev Sports. What a wild night this has been. If you are watching the show like all of us on this panel, you might be thinking, and there might be one question in your head playing round and round right now, which is what the hell just happened? I don't think many of us have an explanation. I think everyone will have an explanation. I think it's pretty clear what the problem is when it comes to the CSK batting lineup. But it's still wild to watch a team like a franchise like Chennai Super Kings perform this way. When you think of a Chennai Super Kings at Chepauk, their fortress, you don't expect performances like these. Shomik, I'll go over to you first. Like I started, what the hell just happened?
Pathetic, lame. An outdated T20 team were outclassed by a far superior side. I mean, Chepak used to be CSK's fortress, right? And they got a pitch to their liking. A surface where the ball gripped, everything, something that Stephen Fleming had been asking for. And this is the display. And it would have been worse, but for those two dropped catches. Two seaters went down, one by Sunil Narine and another by Venkatesh Iyer. Um, uh, Vijay Shankar was given the reprieve and Vijay Shankar scored 29. It would have been worse. But the thing is that um, something's got to give. Something's got to give. There has to be a change. This team has passed it. This team is past its sell by date. There has to be an overhaul. Absolutely, there has to be an overhaul. Whether MS Dhoni, it feels like this unit has lost its pride. See, at the pre-match show, I predicted that CSK might edge KKR based on the fact that Dhoni has returned to take the leadership mantle, and there would be a new captain's bounce. And just for this game, I said this team will not qualify for the playoffs, but just for this game, we might see some passion, something. And Dhoni said exactly the same thing at the toss. But it feels like this team has lost its pride. There has to be there has to be a radical overall. This is not sustainable.
And MS Dhoni, no matter what position he is at right now, captain or not, you can't really change or turn around the tide for CSK at this point. It's been absolutely pathetic. Bharat, how do you explain this loss? How do you explain the batting performance that we've just seen, especially after what Stephen Fleming had come out and said after that third game at the Chepauk? He said that, in the past couple of years, we haven't been able to read the pitch well and we really have no real home advantage. So, when you think of all these things, Stephen Fleming wanting a spin deck, but then tonight, CSK's batting lineup was completely deflated, completely ran through by the KKR spinners.
See, it started in the started during the auction itself. They picked the kind of players they have picked. They're not performing, or some of them are past their best. For example, Deepak Huda averages 17 in IPL. 17. That is what he averages in the history of IPL. Deepak Huda after playing some 100 games. So you have picked a part timer who doesn't even average 20 in IPL, and is one of your main batters. He doesn't even really perform in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy domestic cricket in recent past, but still they had some faith in him. They picked Rahul Tripathi again. This player is past his best. Maybe there was a time when he was value for money, scoring runs for Sunrisers Hyderabad. But that was long ago, or while ago. Vijay Shankar has not fulfilled his potential despite having some promise to play lofted shots, but he has not fulfilled his potential in the world of IPL. So you have picked this kind of players, even with if you look at their pace attack, yes, there were a couple of good picks. Khalil Ahmad when it comes to their pace attack, or Noor when it comes to spin bowling. But other than that, they have not picked anyone who's an out and out quick bowler or a tall hit the deck bowler. The best they have is Jamie Orton, and he's not one of England's best either. So if you pick three, four best seamers from England currently, Jamie Orton won't be one of them. So the kind of players they picked at the auction, I think the problem started there itself, and it has carried on. And they played on a spinner's track against a KKR lineup that has Sunil Narin and Varun Chakravarti. Obviously, this kind of a batting lineup was always going to struggle against a bowling attack that comprised both Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narin. And I'm not very surprised that they got bowled out for that. They scored only 103 runs for the loss of 9 wickets.
Arthur,
Gar,
you know, yes, yes.
Gargi, before you go to Astro, please allow me to give an update. What Dhoni said at post-match presentation. Dhoni said, "Quite a few nights haven't gone our way. Need to look deep down inside. Challenge was there, but we needed to tackle. Didn't have enough runs on the board today, and the ball stopped." This was what he said at post-match presentation.
All right. All right. Well, Arthur, same question that I asked to Bharat as well. What Stephen Fleming had said, versus how CSK batters performed tonight, it does not align at all.
See, of course, I mean, when you when you compare what the coach said and how the team came out batting, those things do not tally or match at all. And I think the problem is slightly deeper rooted. It didn't start today. It didn't start in the second match or third match or the fourth match. I think they needed a bit of a thought revision. I'm sorry to say this about a franchise that set examples of how to run a team. I mean, forever in the history of IPL, they will remain one of the greatest teams ever, irrespective of how they where they finished this year. But everything comes to an end, and the surprising thing is to see that what started at in 2008 didn't end in 2025. No, that's I mean, enormously long time in everything, not just sport. I mean, which has a shorter lifespan. So to see those things not happen, to see those policies not revised and not updated, rather, that is a big surprise. And not this outcome actually. I mean, this. I mean, a lot of us were thinking that this is a brittle battle lineup. I mean, Bharat mentioned the factors in their batting lineup. The people, the players, their batters are not exactly proven performers in IPL or in recent domestic T20 circuit. So the problems were there. So that is not a surprise. Surprise is that this very efficient and very learned, very wise team management taking this call to persist with this. For me, that is more surprising than the result. Result was, I mean, see, 103, it could have been 123, it could have been 93 also. So that exists, not is not exactly the the most striking feature of this capitulation.
Absolutely. Shomik, at this point, how worrying is it that CSK have lost five in a row and three at Chepauk? And it seems like the fortress has been demolished. It's no longer there.
But Gargi, forget this season is done and dusted for CSK. But I totally agree with After that this is the end of a cycle. This is the end of a cycle for CSK, and they will have to reboot. They will have to reboot. I am little surprised that they couldn't preempt it, because this is an out and out cricket franchise. If you see the people who run this franchise, they have been. I mean, see, India Cements have 15 or 16 clubs in Tamil Nadu Cricket League, in Chennai League, and this is an out and out cricket franchise. Kashi Viswanathan, the CEO, he has he was the secretary of Tamil Nadu Cricket Association for many years. These these people related to grassroots cricket. They know their cricket. It's not like the other nine franchises. So from that point of view, I'm a little surprised that they failed to preempt. Maybe maybe they had a set template and they trusted. In fact, I can say this on record. After last year's IPL, I had a conversation with Mr. Kashi Vishwanathan, and I told him that signs are not good. But he sort of didn't take it. He said, "Look, every time we can't expect us to win. We had so many injuries. We had so many injuries like Devon Conway and others last year. So, so that was their tried and a proven formula. And by sticking to that template, they won 5 IPL titles. So obviously, they needed something drastic to change. I have been maintaining that this season uh, is going to be CSK's Adelaide moment. And once again, Gargi, as is my own, I will draw another football analogy. This season is like Barcelona conceding 8 goals and Lionel Messi, bidding adieu to Barcelona. This is like that, I think. So next year there has to be an overall.
All right, all right. We have some questions here. Let's take some of them. Debain Banerjee is saying, I cannot recollect when KKR dominated CSK at home like this. Kudos to Rahane's captaincy on field. Atriodas LW theme continues. Solid job by Narayan and other bowlers. NRR gets a solid boost now. I also predicted KKR to win, by the way. Just saying. But Bharat, talk about this KKR dominance at Chepauk, and let's talk about the fact that it was a spin deck. KKR spinners did well, and it sort of does it at this point solidify Ajinkya Rahane's argument.
Yes, I've been saying it from day one that if KKR want his spinners pitch, then it's absolutely fine. But obviously, it is for them to have a good rapport with the curator at Eden Gardens so that they can get what they really want to. But I'm absolutely fine because they have Varun Chakravarti, they have Surya Narayan. See, Varun Chakravarti is at the peak of his prowess. People talk so much about his variations, people talk so much about his mystery, but they forget that the kind of bounce that he gets is someone who stands very tall at the crease. So even if a batter is really picking him because he can bowl from, so at times he can bowl 93 kilometers per hour, at times he can bowl 115 kilometers per hour or even 118 kilometers per hour. At that speed, if someone is going to bowl and even if he's got a little bit of turn and a little bit of bounce, then the batter is in real trouble. So he doesn't really need mystery now. And Sunil Narayan obviously is Sunil Narayan. So sorry, when you have this kind of an attack, then it is fine if a captain thinks that I want a track that should assist my spinners, but it is for their management to collaborate with the creator and get the best out of it. So as far as KKR's dominance is concerned, I think it was a really good all-round show. All their ballers fired in this particular IPL. Even someone like Harshit Rana has been struggling with his line. He's been offering width, but not today. He got his lines right. Vaibhav Arora took wickets, and even Moin Ali got a little bit of grip and turn again. That tells you how good a spin attack they have because in these conditions, Moin Ali suddenly becomes quite dangerous as well. So I can at least understand where Ajinkya Rane is coming from.
Well, Atru, let's also talk about the spin trio that we've seen tonight. Moeen Ali, Sunil Narayan, and Varun Chakravarti doing very, very well for KKR. Your thoughts on the trio? They completely ran through the CSK batting lineup, and again the same question. Ajinkya Rahane asking for a spin deck. How does this change things? You've got two solid performances on spin decks now, one in Guwahati and one in Chepauk.
It's difficult to, produce a rank turner in Calcutta at the moment, given the conditions, because it's quite hot, it's quite humid, and if you try to make the pitch drier by underwatering and all that, it may lead to a 110 kind of a wicket, which nobody wants. So that's a different issue. And KKR's spin bowling trio, obviously, I mean, they are a fantastic combination. I mean, nobody underestimates them. I mean, they are, although all three are right arm bowlers. There is a lot of variety in them, which you don't see usually in a team consisting of three right arm spinners. All three of them are so different from each other. I think that creates a lot of trouble for the opposing side, especially on a pitch where there is a bit of assistance for spin. At the same time, I also think that KKR's pace bowling attack is also quite effective. We can say that Johnson possibly didn't exactly tick all the right boxes in the appearances that he made. But the other two, Vaibhav Arora and Harshit Rana, I think they have delivered. I mean, we can go into the statistics and say that okay, in this match they possibly were below par for patches. Yes, they were. But overall, I think they have complemented the spinners quite well, and that is one reason the KKR bowling side has been able to exert pressure on the opposing side. And today, I mean, a few catches not been dropped and all that, who knows? I mean, by the time the Pacers were in operation, more damage could have been done. And Gargi, I will also, Gargi, Bharat, Shomik, I have a question for all of you, which is that, okay, we have spoken about MS Dhoni, we have spoken about CSK and what they can do, what they cannot do. How odd is it to see a wicket keeper coming to bat at number 9? I mean, in white ball cricket, I mean, how often do we see it these days? I mean, wicket keepers are your main batters, among your main batters. If you look at all the other IPL teams, I mean, possibly they will be 1 to 6. I mean, not below that, possibly. To see somebody like Dhoni coming at number 9, what kind of dent in the confidence of the fellow batters do you think it causes?
After I think, we shouldn't consider Dhoni as a player or a batsman. Basically, Dhoni is the captain, and he is an embellishment. Let us leave it at that. He is just an embellishment at this moment in time. So the whether he's coming in at number 8, number 7, number 9, it is irrelevant because they brought in that impact sub. That is why otherwise he would have come in at number 8, because they brought in the impact sub. He batted at number 9. But once again, he is just an embellishment at this moment in time. But let me make one thing very clear. CSK in this game losing to KKR has absolutely got nothing to do with the nature of the pitch. Any team worth its salt will beat CSK at this moment in time, irrespective of conditions. You lay out a feather bed, CSK will lose. You prepare a green top, CSK will lose. You prepare a rank turner, CSK will lose. They are they have big they have CSK have become the easiest team in the IPL to play against.
Bharat, your
I
thoughts?
would, if I may just ask Gargi and Bharat for that reply to the Dhoni question. I mean, you can keep it brief. I mean, the two of you, please.
Yeah, see,
I want to
there's
know.
always yeah, Dhoni at number 9 obviously is something that you can see it and feel that maybe it's too low. See, Deepak Huda obviously was an impact player, but the way Deepak Huda is currently batting, he might even come at number 11. That is how he's currently batting. So I'm not, it's true because Patirana might score 1 run or 2 runs. The player that I think he replaced as an impact player, so he might score 1 or 2 runs, but Deepak Koda might score zero. So he's coming too low, definitely. But who knows what goes inside the MS Dhoni's head? I don't think anyone can read his mind. At least in the last game, he came in at number 5. I thought maybe there's a change in mindset and MS Dhoni would start to come off the order, but that's not the case. He is back to number 9, but that he has his own mind and no one can read him.
I mean, Athru, we've talked about this multiple times. The first time that Dhoni came out to bat at number 9, we were all shell shocked because from that point, I think CSK were in a position where they could have won the match if someone like a Dhoni had come in and blasted a few sixes or hit some big shots. But After that we all found out that he can only bat for 15 to 20 balls and all of that. But it's still a very very baffling decision from CSK's end. Today as well, their wickets were falling left and right. MS Dhoni could have come up the order. I think Shivam Dubey also could have come up the order to stabilize the innings a little bit. And Dubey was the only bright spot for CSK. But clearly something's going wrong. We can't put our finger on it. But tactical decisions are not good this time around. It's CSK are making a lot of mistakes, and it looks like they are very very tactically weak at this point. Yes, Shamik. Are you?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a question for Atreyu, and very rightly, Gargi, you have brought up this tactical part, and I and Atreyu have been covering Dhoni right from his day one in international cricket, and even before that, when he was flying his trade in domestic cricket. So I have a question for Atreyu. This kind of tactical blunder, I mean, two openers, you are defending 103, and you are not starting with Ravi Ashwin. This was not expected from Dhoni, the captain, on the face of it. Is it a case that he's no longer up to it mentally anymore? Mute.
Dhoni is mentally not in the right state. I mean, I can't say that.
So,
But yes, as you said that, firstly, 103 was a very low total. I mean, it was very difficult to defend that. And as you said that, okay, yes, possibly, yes, he could have taken the chance of opening the attack with a spinner on this kind of a surface, because he has done exactly that in IPL matches. Remember Ashwin getting creased Gale, a relatively unknown Ravi Ashwin getting a marauding Chris Gale out in the first 1 or 2 overs. So
yes.
those things happen under Dhoni only. I mean, he is the biggest handler of spinners. I don't think anybody, any captain in white ball cricket at least, has handled spin bowlers as good as MS Dhoni. So yes, those were points, but those were possibly, I mean, on hindsight, yes, those were flaws. But I think the damage had been done earlier. As I keep saying, I mean, it's a planning kind of a deficiency. It's not a problem of executing plans. With these kind of resources, this much only you can do. So the damage was done before that, when they put in this kind of an arrangement in terms of personnel.
But two left-handers at the top, you have to take your chances and hope against hope, isn't it?
No, I mean, Gale was a left-hander, and we all remember what happened in that case. So, yeah,
Over to you,
All right.
Gargi.
Yes, Shomik, I'd like you to. There are a lot of comments in our chat box this time around, and they're all saying that this proves Ajinkya Rahane's argument right, and that we had been blindly supporting Shujon Mukherjee, and everyone saying we are CAB ke chamche, or we get money from CAB. Address this, please.
we are we are we are supporting no one. We are putting out the story from both sides. When Shujan Mukherjee is saying us something on record, we are putting out that. When Ajinkya Rahane is saying something on record, uh, we are putting out that. We have come up with the KKR version of the story, and they had they had some very valid points that until 2014-15, KKR's winning percentage at Eden Gardens was 78, and it has reduced to something sort of 47 after that. We have put out that story also. So it's not our job as reporters is to write what we see and what we get on record, not to speculate. And we have been doing that consistently. We came up with a version of CAB also, CAB President Snehash Ganguly coming on record. And only because he came on record, we put out the story. There was never anything beating around the bush. Everything was in black and white. Everything was recorded. and we don't support anyone. There is no we and they in this profession. As far as journalism is concerned, there is no there we and they. We report facts, and we will continue to report facts, irrespective of, we don't care if we are ruffling any feathers or not. We'll continue to report facts.
Absolutely, that's the truth of it. Let's take final few comments, last 5 minutes on the show. Musical Being is saying Dhoni's comment that CSK batters are not sloggers reek of arrogance. This surely is CSK's Adelaide moment, as Shomik sir pointed out earlier. Will CSK change their attitude? Bharat, you take this one.
Yeah, I don't think Dhoni's comment. I obviously disagree with that. See, the problem with the CSK's batting lineup is they just some of them just are out of form. Some of them are not made for T20 cricket. Some of them are past their best. So I would start with, obviously I started with Deepak Huda, Rahul Tripathi. These guys are past their best. Vijay Shankar has not fulfilled his potential. Ravindra and Conway, if you ask them to open, they will get 59 or 60 runs in 6 overs. That is not going to work in modern day T20 cricket. In modern day T20 cricket, on especially flat pitches, you need to score at least 80 runs. Even if you lose 2 wickets and score 80 runs on a flat pitch in 6 overs, I will take it over 60 runs in 6 overs. So they have big problems. They have got the template wrong for modern day T20 cricket. They have to tinker their template in the next auction at least, because they have pretty big problems with their batting unit.
All right. More question. Tamugna Basu is saying KKR needs to think out of the box. Lost golden chance to what? Blood.
Blood,
Bled Sisodia,
blood
Lavnit Sisodia.
Okay,
Sisodia.
okay.
to chance blood Shishodia
Okay.
to give him the debut.
No, I was afraid that this would go somewhere else, so I stopped
No,
reading it.
no.
But
It's like
yeah,
playing him, giving him the debut.
yes. Blood Sisodia at number three as impact player with match in the bag. That's how you give confidence to newbies. If not, Russell and Moeen should have gotten batting time at 3 and 4. Atra?
I think the KKR team management today answered a lot of questions that we were asking the previous day. Why don't promote Rinku Singh? So Rinku Singh came into bat at number four, and after that, how many more players can you blood? So in those positions, when you are chasing 103 and your opening partnership puts up a few runs, then you, I mean, reach the target after losing just 2 or 3 wickets. So there are not too many paper players that you can try out. So possibly that was not. I mean, had they lost, had it been 40 for two, then possibly there was room for experiment. But today there was none. So I don't see any room for any kind of. Um, uh, I mean, scope for promoting the batters up the order who didn't get too many chances in the previous games. Today, that option was not there.
I'll set a point to it. I'll
Yeah.
just set a point to it. Perhaps not in today's match, but in general terms, I think they can try Lavni Sisodia in some match or the other, because opponents have not seen him much. So he might come in and surprise people, because I've seen him in the Maharaja Trophy. I think he's a better player than just a slogger, because he has a good game through the offside. So in some game or the other, may not be today. They could have tried today as well, because obviously 104 a target. At some point, they could have tried maybe at one down, just to see what he has, what he can offer on the big stage. But at least in one game they can try him, because I think he's a good striker of the ball.
I think with that we can take your leave. We've discussed possibly everything that we could have. There's not much to discuss when a team is batting like that, and the weaknesses are glaring. The tactical, inadequacies are glaring at this point when it comes to CSK. It's almost done. IPL 2025 is done for CSK. No more hope of making them, and they're not going to make it to the playoffs. But yes, Atra.
I would like to add that it's quite sad to say this, sad to see this, that CSK is a legacy side of IPL. To see them in this state, I mean, as a pure, I mean, I can understand what's going through the minds of the fans in Chennai. I worked in Chennai for close to 8 years. I have seen very closely how passionate they are about everything. So it's bad time for them, and it's bad time for actually a little bit of sad time for us cricket followers as well. I mean, that to see this, empire come to an end. So there has to be a new beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be a new beginning, and every good things come to an end. And too much of a good thing is probably a bad thing. So from that point of view, then they need to reboot. They need to reboot, and I believe they will reboot. I believe. And once again, before we sign off, congratulations to Gargi, because once again she has scored over me. So she is now leading by a handsome margin. But towards the business end of the tournament, we'll settle it. Will be I will be
Reassess.
there. I'll, towards the business end, I'm just waiting for the business end of the tournament. Like Kevin Peterson said yesterday, the IPL begins in May.
Absolutely. And so does the heat. So it will be twice as dangerous. But thank you so much, Bharat Atra and Shomik, for joining, and to everyone who's watching. Come back tomorrow as well. We'll be here discussing, planning, plotting everything that we do. And good night.